Tonight I'm staying in the worst hotel in the UK, and it might be even worse than I expected. In all my travels, I've never seen a hotel with so many 1-star reviews. People are saying they wouldn't let cattle stay here or even use it as dog kennels. This is the Premier Hotel in Skegness, not to be confused with the Premier Inn, as they have to make abundantly clear on their website after some apparent legal troubles due to their similarities. Skegness is obviously famous for Botlands, Skeg Vegas, and for being regularly rated as the worst seaside town in the UK, but personally, I think it gets an unfair rep. So what better way to challenge the stigma than by staying in the worst hotel in the worst rated town and seeing if we can shed a different light on it.
So this should have been the Premier Hotel, but it looks like they've had a bit of rebranding. I wonder if it was because of the Premier Inn legal complaints. It's now Simply Stay. Someone should probably update their website. On first impressions, it doesn't look too bad. It apparently used to be a block of flats, hence the slightly odd exterior for a hotel, but it definitely doesn't look like the worst hotel in the UK. Let's go and check it out.
Straight off the bat, we encountered our first problem.
There's nobody here. Hello? There's nobody at reception. We've just been stood here for like a good 5 minutes, and as you can see, there's nobody here. I've knocked on this staff door, and it's like there's nobody working, and we can't even hear anybody about. Slightly more concerning that, one, they've changed the name of the hotel, and two, there's nobody at reception. I'm getting a little bit nervous now.
Hello, this is Adiba from Simply Stay. How can I help you today?
Hi there. We're at reception. We've got a room booked for tonight, and we're just trying to check in.
Can you please help me with the hotel name?
I'm not sure if it's the Simply Stay or the Premier Hotel.
Okay, our staff is available by 4 p.m. there, as the check-in time is for 4 p.m. So.
The check-in time's for 3, and it's after 4 now.
Okay, let me check with someone who's available there. I'll inform to go there ASAP. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great day. Hey, bye.
Cheers, bye. So the check-in's at 3, but there's no staff until 4. It's 4:02. This is a great start. This is mental. So someone spoke to us through the camera there and said they'll be down in 5 minutes. That was 7 minutes ago. Check-in is at 3 p.m. It's 8 minutes past 4, and there's no one here. Someone walked past and told us, they're like, oh, yeah, my man's not going to be here for another hour. I was like, no, why would I know that? Why would I think that? Check-in's at 3. We got here late. This place is living up. We're just checking in.
This one 106 for you.
Room 106?
Room code, I'll take it.
Okay, cool.
So this is the code you put this on the 8961X and then press the knob to the
Okay.
right and then
Perfect. Thank you very much.
cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Well, not the easiest thing to do, checking in, but the room doesn't look too bad. Bit grimy, but overall, not the worst in the world. Let's have a look around. On first impressions, it's not the worst place in the world. Obviously, it was a massive pain in the ass to actually get to the room. I don't know what that was about. Apparently the guy lives on site, so I don't know how he's not like on the ball. But the room itself, it's a bit grimy, it's a bit dusty. I wouldn't say it's like the cleanest place, but it's not terrible. Like, it's not, I've certainly seen much worse. What is weird is there being just a block of houses right there. Like, that is someone's bathroom window that I'm just able to look into. We've got things like the table that hasn't really been cleaned. None of the surfaces really seem too clean. There's this random door that is like attached. I don't really know what that is. It seems to have a smart TV, which is good. It's always good to check the cupboards, because if the cupboard's filthy, you know the place is grim. It's not clean, but it's not filthy. They have stolen those hangers from Marks and Spencer's. The bed, not the best. We do have dirty pillows. I think that is a stain. This is just dirty. So that's not great. Let's move on to the bathroom, because in a place like this, the bathroom's what you fear the most. Okay, it's spacious. It's 4,000 degrees in here. The radiator's off, but it's not off. Sink could do with a clean. There's a pube in the toilet. It's not terrible. I was expecting much worse, and whenever I'm expecting worse, I'm expecting dirty. So what I'm wondering is, why has this place got such bad reviews? So like I said before, this place has more 1-star reviews than I've ever seen in a hotel before. So I thought it could be a really fun time to read through some of them and see what people are really saying about this place. Please avoid at all cost. This place is the most dirty hotel in Skegness. No Wi-Fi. As soon as I walked in, noticed the tiles were dirty on the bed, had to go and ask for clean ones. Marks and stains up the walls, not cleaned. Bathroom is filthy. Shower screen coming off of my hands. Bite marks from sleeping on the bed with bed bugs. That's not 1 star, that's criminal. The worst hotel I've ever stayed at. I would not use this place as dog kennels. Room disgusting, bed covers dirty, shower, sink and toilet not cleaned, grout falling out of the tiles. I'm not quite seeing that. So it's had a bit of an upgrade since then. I really wish I'd seen the reviews on Google before booking on booking.com. This place is a shithole. Blunt and to the point. The owners were lazy and lacked any basic enthusiasm in conversation. That we have seen. The staff were too busy talking amongst themselves and walking around with no shoes or socks on. Before checking us in, they looked at us for a good 3 minutes before welcoming us, and it wasn't very engaging. I mean, at least there were staff here for them. We literally had to phone the company like 3 times and get someone sent here. Disgusting. Avoid. Wouldn't let cattle stay here. Okay. I'm getting bad vibes from the reviews of this place, but what I'm seeing isn't quite that bad. I don't know if I'm just getting it at a good time. Maybe they've read the reviews and taken this all on board. It still might not be the cleanest place in the world, but it's not that bad. So hopefully as the night goes on, it doesn't get any worse. So we're staying in the worst hotel, but we're also apparently staying in the worst town. So it would only be right if we go and explore.
In my opinion, Skegness is one of the most underrated towns in the UK. It has the reputation of just being a cheap holiday destination, being run down, and being the worst town in the UK, but it has a lot of character. Like most UK holiday destinations, it has some nice cafes, loads of chippies, souvenir shops, its own fun fair, and being Skeg Vegas, of course it has plenty of casinos. I can see why it's such a popular holiday destination, but I don't get why everyone seems to hate on it.
Can you actually come to a seaside town and not get a cone of chips? I don't think so. We've got a special guest here today on the channel. We've got a Skegness local here to give us her opinions on this wonderful town. Everyone, meet Liv. So Skeg gets a pretty bad
Yeah,
rep,
it does.
but as someone who's grown up here, what do you actually think of it?
I think whenever I'm with other people, I probably maintain its bad rep, but the minute anyone else not from Skeg has something bad to say about it, then I've got a problem with it, because I don't think I actually dislike it. I don't dislike it. I think this is one of the nicer places that I could have grown up. But I think it's underfunded is my issue, so that's why it is derelict in a lot of places, and a lot of the neighborhoods just aren't. They're not good to look at, or good to be in. But that's not the fault of the town so much as I think it's just like undervalued as a place, because it's quite on the edge of the country, and it's only a place people care about when the weather's nice and like when it can do something for them.
Yeah, because during the summer, like, this place is absolutely heaving.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of the busiest holiday destinations.
I think all the locals would agree they avoid the town in the summer.
Do you think it gets a fair reputation from a lot of people? Because it's been called the worst seaside destination. It's been called the worst town in the UK.
Yeah.
And as someone who's only ever really been a tourist here, whenever I've come to see you, I really like it. Like, I think, like you said, it's a really good place to grow up.
Yeah.
I think if you're growing up near the beach, you're automatically like winning. And then I think the town itself is really fun. There's a couple of nice cafes. There's a couple of good pubs. Like, there's a few good restaurants.
Yeah.
And it does just seem like a really nice place, especially when the weather's nice.
Yeah.
It's pretty beautiful.
Yeah.
And to me, like, I think it gets an unfair reputation, but I'm interested to see what locals actually think.
I mean, it gets the rep as just being a cheap holiday. So I think, cheap in itself obviously has negative connotations, but I think that's unfair. I do think that's unfair, because just because it's cheap doesn't mean it's automatically bad. But I think, like, back in the day before the world became a lot smaller, this would have been a place that people would have come to because they enjoyed it rather than because of the money aspect. And I think it takes, like, having you, or like I'd bring some of my friends here who aren't from the area, and like having a Skeg day. I think that's what it takes for me to be like, you know what, this actually is quite fun.
Yeah, I absolutely love a Skeg day.
It can be fun,
And with that, let's go and have a proper Skeg day.
A Skeg day can be one of the most fun experiences in the UK, no matter what age you are. You've got to start off by being way too competitive in the arcade. Bonus points if you win your girlfriend a prize. After working up a sweat, it's time for a milkshake from WoW before the competition continues over onto the mini golf course. A walk down one of the UK's nicest beaches is a nice touch before moving on to your final activity, Bottom's Amusements, where they've got plenty of rides to choose from, but the best is always the waltzers. After all that, it's time for dinner.
No day spent in the worst hotel in the worst town in the UK would be complete without dinner in the worst restaurant, the local Wetherspoons. Let's go. Spoons is an absolute staple here in the UK. If you're not from here, you've probably got no idea, but it's like this massive chain of pubs, and they're absolutely everywhere, and they're so cheap. Where else can you get a pizza and a pint for less than a tenner in the UK? I don't know. And this one in Skeg, genuinely pretty decent. This place is not too bad. I must admit, after reading some of the reviews, I was fairly nervous for what was coming at night time. People were saying it gets a little bit loud and it gets a little bit rowdy. Honestly, not that bad at all. I don't know if it's because the hotel's pretty quiet at the minute because it's the off season, but there's been absolutely nothing. I mean, there's 2 cars in the car park. You can hear people walking about whenever they walk down the hall, but I mean, the walls are paper thin, so what do you expect? And for £35 a night, can't really complain. Honestly, it's not that bad. Good morning. Well, that was an experience. It's not loud, but it certainly is bright.
These curtains do absolutely nothing. And this bed is not comfortable. My back is screaming.
Well, it's time to leave. Honestly, a couple of minor inconveniences. Not really the cleanest, but honestly, stayed in much worse places. Hans Brinker, definitely still worse. Hotel Galleria, 1,000 times worse. Can't really complain too much after those.
If you read the reviews about this place, then you'll think it's a filthy shithole with rude staff that isn't worth visiting. In truth, it's not as bad as it sounds. No, it isn't the cleanest, and the staff might not be the most helpful, or even the most present. The bed might be horrendous, and the curtains may be useless, but the rooms are spacious, have good amenities, and are reasonably priced. And bonus, you're within walking distance of one of the UK's most underrated towns. Would I stay here again? No. I'd probably just stay in the Premier Inn. 2 stars. I'll see you next week.